This song is dedicated to every kid who ever got picked last in gym class.
This is for you.
For anyone that's ever had a sandwich stored in their helmet.
Yo, this is for you.
For anyone who was hot to trot and popped a squat.
This is for you.
For anyone who's ever annexed Puerto Rico.
This is for you.
For anyone who's ever had a crush on Devin Sawa.
Everyone.
Here we go. Back when they were kids and the O'Shea boys wanted to play football
On the water
but
tower.
Kevin was the better one and said Danny should play with dolls. So Danny had a daughter that he raised up like a man.
The icebox.
Becky became the icebox while her mom became a lesbian. Giants. Giants. Here we go. The little giants, champs of Romania. The little giants, gonna take on all the world. The little giants.
Spike don't play with girls.
You wanna play me now, but I won't stop now, 'cause I can't stop now. Get it? It's like Little Things, but it's Little Giants. Kill Your Gods podcast. We are back. It's been a while since I've done a song, so I phoned it in. Guys, I'm really tired. I just spent the day in Asbury Park with my wife, Perry. We had a great day. It was a very good time. We continue on. We soldier on into 90's Kids Movie Month. I'm very excited for this episode because it's already recorded. I can tell you, it's a really, really good one. It's a soft one. Ooh. My guest is comedian Jake Mattera. Jake is the host of the Stand Up Guys podcast along with Erik Terrell on the Helium Comedy Network. In addition to Helium Comedy Network, he is releasing his first comedy album, his first stand-up album, a soft one. Go check that out soon. Jake Mattera, Mattera. I cannot say enough about him. He's hysterical. He's really got a unique voice. I cannot wait to hear this album, and I really think you guys need to check it out too. He decided to pick out Little Giants, which is such a good movie. I get into it during the podcast. This was such a good movie that I honestly forgot Rick Moranis and Ed O'Neill were in it. I only remembered the kids. But enough of my bullshitting. We're going to get right into it here. My own personal plugs coming up. So, if you are listening to this, it is Monday, which means tomorrow is June 15th, and I will be at Helium Comedy. God, we're promoting Helium a lot. Helium Comedy Club in Philadelphia, 9th to 20th and Sansom Street in Center City. Come out and see me. I'll be participating in Philly's Funniest Round 1. Can I get through Round 1? Dear God, I hope so. After that, I'm looking through my schedule right now. I'm officiating 2 weddings in the next 2 months. I don't know how that... If you want me to marry you, hit me up at jessedraham on all the things. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Reddit, formerly of Parler, Kill Your Gods on YouTube. This is an important video episode. I messed up a little bit last week. I hadn't realized the screen mirroring would not capture on Amazon Prime. That's fixed this week. It's all YouTube clips, so I highly suggest you go watch this episode on Facebook or YouTube because the clips really make, more sense because it's a clip-heavy episode. July, Saturday the 10th, I will be at Pop-In Chalfont. That's going to be a great show. My buddy's Neil Wood. Neil's been on the podcast before, obviously. Andrew Thomas, some other people I don't remember right now. The day after, I will be making my New York City debut. I would have done it far sooner, but I'm agoraphobic, and I'm dreading it, kind of. That'll be July 11th, Sunday. New York City Broadway Comedy Club. Very much looking forward to that. On the 23rd, a show I'm running, Flying Fish Brewery. It's going to be a monthly. We did one last month. Big success. We're doing it again. July 23rd, that's in Somerdale, New Jersey. July 29th, Pearly Bakers. That will be in Easton, Pennsylvania. And July 31st in Trenton, a fundraiser show for Al Ann Sober Club. And God, I think that is it. So, enough of my jaw jacking. Go check out Jake Mattera on all the things. Download his album. We have 2 more episodes coming this month, and I think we got a big interview coming up here. I may have been successful in getting someone in here. Who could it be? Who could it be? I don't know. You'll just have to wait and see. So for now, yeah, Kill Your Gods podcast with Jake Mattera with Little Giants. And here we are, Kill Your Gods podcast, 90s Kids Movies Month. Trucks on. This week we will be tackling Little Giants. Joining me, he's a very hilarious comedian. He's got an album coming out soon. I honestly can't wait to hear it. Jake Mattera, how you doing?
Jesse, thank you for having me, buddy.
Thank you for coming on. Before we get started, anything you got to plug? I know you got the album coming out. I know you have a podcast yourself.
That's right. Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah. So I have an album coming out. It's coming out June 25th. It's called A Soft One. You can pre-order it now on iTunes and Amazon, and I think it's everywhere on the 25th. So check it out. And then I do a great podcast with Erik Terrell called Stand Up Guys, which is pretty fun. It's on the Helium Network, and we just talk about what it's like to be I don't know, in social situations that are pretty awkward and relationship stuff. It's pretty cool. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's awesome. I already told you your album cover I love so much.
Oh, thank you, dude.
It just
thank you.
Now hold on. I couldn't pick out. Is it just like a pile of stuffed animals, or are you in fact in a claw machine?
No, it's just unfortunately it's just a pile.
Okay, so my brain projected the claw machine onto it, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's actually a reference to an 80's movie. Do you know which 80's movie?
I would imagine E.T.
Yes, E.T. Okay, all right, that was probably easy.
I think you didn't have the hat and blonde wig on, which I think
that's true.
You'd look fetching in, if I would say so myself. All right, so the movie we picked this week was Little Giants, and that was actually your suggestion. Could you tell us what exactly is your history with this movie? What made you pick it out?
Oh, man. I mean, I think I just saw it so many times as a kid, and when you had said kids' movies, I half read the message, and you're like, oh, here's two movies, and I was like, oh, yeah, you said one of them, which
I said Ladybugs and Little Rascals, but I think those are the two that were already claimed.
And I was like, yes, that's great. You're like, no. You're like, no, you got to pick one. I'm like, oh, all right, Ladybugs. You're like, you're not getting this. And then I was just like, Little Rascals. Or you're like, stop it. And then I chose Little Giants. Anything with little or lady in the title, I try to choose.
Ooh, yeah. I'm trying to think of Little Monsters was one I considered.
Oh, man.
Technically 80s, but I don't really care.
Yeah. You're not a stickler.
No. One of the things I noticed watching this movie is that hilariously, aside from Little Rascals, all the movies we're doing this month just happen to be kids' sports movies. This is the only one I can think of with a female protagonist.
Sorry, I don't know what I just did there. Oh my God, I'm nervous.
That's okay. I have a weird muscle strain in my ribs that I'm convincing myself is lung cancer every day.
I think anytime you say female protagonist, I will start just coughing violently. I apologize.
That's okay. I understand you're uncomfortable with it. America was uncomfortable with it, but
you know what? Yeah.
Thankfully,
it's a great movie. It's and I mean, if you think about it, every Disney movie, it's a female protagonist too. And that's kind of what I internally identify as. I'm not trying to go there with this, but no, I think I just grew up around two sisters. My older sister, Michelle, as we grew up, I learned she was gay, but Icebox reminded me so much of my sister. So watching this was a cool extension of that. There's just somebody else, a character I was already familiar with. You know what I mean? Not that Icebox is, because the movie will dictate otherwise. But
right.
I mean, we never know. Well,
it's something I don't want to dive too deep into because it feels pseudo hack and pseudo offensive. But we are in a time where what would have once been considered oh, she was a tomboy. obviously can have much larger implications now that we, see gender in a more magnified era. Where that's why I would have loved to have Shauna Waldron on, who played Becky the Icebox, just because I would be curious, like, what do you think would have been the future of this girl? Like,
yeah. Oh man, that's
because I got to be honest, I had, so you said you had the older sister who turned out to be gay. I had a cousin who was like very tomboyish into those sorts of things, and it ended up transitioning many years later. So I guess that's part of the thing that makes it feel less like cartoony and hacky to me, because I've actually seen that happen in my own life. So
yeah. And I mean, the same thing on my wife's side. Somebody who, like, me and my wife have been together since high school, so like her little cousin was like a kid when I first met them, and they transitioned a couple years ago, and it just seemed like, oh yeah, this is the thing.
right.
Yeah, I'm
And
like tiptoeing as much as I can right now.
See, you know what it is? I honestly think that's a greater implication in those older movies, because it feels like the kind of scrappy, non-threatening, boyish girl was very much an archetype of a lot of those movies. You know?
Yeah, I think so too. And I know with like Icebox and that whole situation, like her character, you see her kind of like in the movie, find her first crush, and like, kind of get nervous about that, and like kind of like try to like throw it off, because there's a point where she's like applying makeup, and before that she's just so like internally torn as to what's happening. And it's a cool it's I don't know, it's cool, it's a cool movie.
She flat out says, like, the Icebox can't like a boy.
Yeah, Icebox don't like boys.
So real quick detail, just to give an idea of how much the story of these kids made an impact on me, I completely forgot until I started watching. I forgot Ed O'Neill and Rick Moranis were in this goddamn movie.
Oh man, yeah,
like they're the ones on the marquee, as a matter of fact. Like, they're really the stars.
Yeah, and you know what? I mean, I think that's still appropriate. Like, I mean, yeah, the kids. I mean, the kids steal the show for sure, but I mean, like, to have that kind of like artillery behind it, like, was awesome. And like, Rick Moranis is so great at playing like comical, yet punching bag, and also like human. You know what I mean? Like, like he did such an amazing job. Like, rewatching it, I'm just like, oh my god, like. And I know, like, in his real life, his wife had passed away and stuff like that. So like, I don't think it happened at the time of that movie, but just like seeing him play that role and like being that caring dad, it's like he's actually being a caring dad. Like, he's not, you know what I mean? Yeah. I
mean, she might have been sick at that point. I have to be honest. I thought, going into the movie, I thought that the mother, like, his wife, Becky's mother, had passed away or something, but like, really grim for a kids movie. They flat out say, like, oh, she just fucking bounced. Yeah.
She's in Cabo getting dicks in her face. Can I say that on the
No, that's fine. It's if we're starting off with kill your gods, like, you can push quite a bit from there. And I even love the fucking how much sharper than a serpent's tooth an ungrateful child, when they're having the argument on the steps, and he's like, well, we had to do it this way because your mom abandoned us. Like, she didn't abandon us, she just found a better team.
Yeah. So this is what I want to get at here. Now, did she just straight up and leave them, or was Icebox's mom not into men? And that's the other team.
Jake, oh my god.
And it's, I mean, it explains, like, I don't know how anything works, so I'm gonna really shoot myself in the foot here. But I mean, like, maybe that's where Becky gets her traits from, is her mom.
It's very possible, because
there are conflicting things. She gets called a little princess. She says.
She said, "Mom treated me like a little princess."
Yeah.
But that princess could have been Xena. That's a warrior princess right there.
What a great princess. I had the biggest
best.
crush on Xena.
How could you not? Lucy
Yeah.
Lawless. But I did note that, like, so an immediate like parallel I think of, because I think Kevin Ed O'Neill. I'm gonna intersperse, by the way, back and forth. I'm gonna go between Ed O'Neill and Kevin, and I'm probably
Yeah, that's
just gonna
fine.
call Rick Moranis. But one of them gives him shit at one point, like, well, if you raised her like a girl instead of a boy, maybe she wouldn't be like this. And there is the notion that, like, oh yeah, you know, dripping with masculine patriarchy, Rick Moranis. Not
Yeah.
exactly, because you think of usually when I think of that, like, oh, I raised her like a boy, I didn't know any better. You think of Marla Hooch in A League of Their Own.
Yeah, yes.
Where the dad ran the gym.
What a hitter.
Exactly. Switch it up, honey. Left hand now. Marla Hooch is one of the greatest fucking characters from the 90s, and she's in that movie for like 5 minutes total.
Yeah. You know what? There was like a thing going around Twitter recently. It was like a list of character, you know, show a picture of a character who made an impact in a movie in like 15 minutes or less. Like she'd be the star of that. She
Nice.
stole that whole movie.
Absolutely. So the film was inspired by a 1992 McDonald's Super Bowl commercial with like little kids playing football. According to the Baltimore Sun, this movie was made by Amblin, which is Steven Spielberg's production company, same as E.T. After seeing the commercial during the Super Bowl, Steven Spielberg contacted the agency and says, I want that commercial made into a movie. I want this to be my Home Alone.
Wow.
Yeah. And so the director, this was only his second film ever that he directed. His name is Duane Dunham. His first movie was Homeward Bound. Great movie.
Good movie, yeah.
By the way, in like childhood sobbing movies, probably in my top 4.
There's a reason I haven't rewatched it forever, because I don't want to experience that emotion again.
Yeah, I mean,
You
Shadow...
know?
Well, also looking at it realistically, like Shadow would have died. He was an old dog. They tacked on a happy ending to keep the kids, but yeah, Shadow was too old to make that.
Yeah.
So directed this movie, Homeward Bound. Before that, he was assistant editor on Empire Strikes Back, editor of Return of the Jedi, and editor on Blue Velvet.
Wow.
Yeah. So
you know what? Now I can see it. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I can see it now. It makes sense. The yellow man just standing there makes sense.
Wow, that's interesting.
Spike don't play against girls. Meanwhile, 5 years earlier, Daddy wants to fuck.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I love people with weird career trajectories like that. Like,
yeah, that's cool.
Like one of my favorites is George Romero, the guy who made Night of the Living Dead. One of his financiers was Mr. Rogers, because he was from Pittsburgh and he'd like worked on Mr. Rogers' show with him before.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Stories like that. That's I mean, you just said the title, Home Alone, Christopher Columbus, right?
Mm-hmm.
He directed. Was that the same Christopher Columbus that directed? Or did John Hughes direct that movie? I know John Hughes wrote it. I thought.
Wait, I think Christopher Columbus did do Home Alone, but what movie did he do before that?
But prior to that, I believe that's the same Christopher Columbus that did Porn.
That would be really awesome.
Or is there another Christopher? I could be confusing that with a Harry Potter director with the same name, and I don't know if it's the same Christopher Columbus.
No, that was the he did do Harry Potter.
Okay, then it's that guy.
Okay, so before, all right, so he directed Home Alone.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, Adventures in Babysitting, The Goonies. He wrote Gremlins. No, he wrote The Goonies.
Okay.
So he wrote Goonies, Gremlins, and Reckless. God damn it! I would love. Oh,
did I just make the porn thing up? I heard that.
They said he did a movie here called Reckless that was a clumsy teen sex drama. So maybe it was like softcore.
Okay.
I don't know. It's definitely not. Daryl Hannah was the star in it. So unless she did that,
gotcha. Okay, yeah, no. All right, forget that. Somebody told me that one time, and I believed it for 15 years.
That's okay. These
Yeah.
kind of things happen. Okay, so the movie itself, I feel like Ed O'Neill is playing a version of Al Bundy that just hasn't given up on life yet.
Yeah, that's Al Bundy if he like kind of hit like got his dreams.
Right, because the whole thing, this movie, this kid, this guy, he won 2 high school titles, 2 national titles. God damn it, I know I have it fucking written down here.
All American,
All American, and a Heisman Trophy.
Trophy.
Yeah. And of
Yeah.
course, the big thing with Al Bundy, as somebody who had faded glory, is he once scored 4 touchdowns in a single high school football game, and has been riding on that ever since. You know what's funny? In retrospect, I could almost see this movie if he was Al Bundy in both movies. I could see this being his first marriage, and then when shit goes downhill, when he loses the dealership to Rick Moranis, his wife leaves him, and he ends up with Peg. That makes sense to me.
That makes sense. Wow.
We've been watching a Married with Children prequel this whole time.
And you know, here's what confused me too is he won the Heisman Trophy.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't drafted.
Yeah, there is no mention of professional experience. I do not know why.
And you're like, okay, well that's weird. They don't mention any professional career. And then it's like maybe they can't get it because of the NFL. And you're like, nope, there's the Cowboys logo.
The Cowboys and the Giants.
And then there's actual NFL stars and John Madden in the movie.
I'd really like to look into that. I'm very curious how that happened.
Like, what happened? Did he blow his knee out?
Maybe. Again, they should have put some detail there, but
yeah.
All right, so we see them as little kids, little Ed and Rick as children go to play football. Nobody picks Rick. A little girl feels bad for him. The way this little girl gets paid off in the movie is so strange because, like, we see her, then she doesn't show up till halfway through the movie where she's Junior's mom, and then she's at the football game. And those are like our 3 encounters with her.
Yeah, they paid for 1 day on set.
Exactly. So yeah, Rick doesn't get picked for the team, and Kevin O'Shea tells him to look at the water tower back there, and I assure him one day this will say home of the O'Shea brothers, which of course it does not. We see it morph and it says home of football's Kevin O'Shea.
Yeah. Football great.
Football is great, Kevin O'Shea. So this is my first question. Jake, can you think of any childhood promises to friends that you never fulfilled?
Oh man. No, I keep all my promises. I am
Jake Mattera, man of his word.
I'm a man of my word. But I would say, like, by the time I hit the high school and, you know, like, oh, we're going to be friends forever. That's when the lies started rolling in.
Oh yeah. No.
And then running into somebody at Wawa and be like, oh, we should catch up. And then you never like even attempt it.
No.
That's kind of where the lie. Yeah.
Like, I felt that was kind of taken away from me. I had a very close friend through like middle school and the beginning of high school, and we were both really into metal, and he played bass, I played guitar. We had a band together, and it was all like, as soon as we can, as soon as we're old enough, we're going to move to the city and we're going to get an apartment and we're going to be fucking rock stars. And then what happened was he met the girl that he is still with today at like 16. And he's like,
yeah,
hey, remember all that ambition I had? Turns out I just needed sex. Sorry.
That's great. Yeah. I followed a similar suit. It's just I got the girl at 16 and then the ambition stayed. I just like, hey, nothing is enough. Clearly, look at me.
There you go. Ambitious forever. That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have my first of, I think I have roughly 10 clips overall here, but
nice.
I wanted to look at, the audio on this one is bad. I don't know why people do this. This is somebody literally just like holding their camera up to the television set. But
dude, I used to do that as a kid all the time. We had a videotape. We used to have a Polaroid camera. Like, remember those ones you would take the picture and then you'd have to wave it?
Yes.
All that kind of stuff and let it dry. I had one of those that I like got from my sister when she was done with it. My older sister. And I took that and I would just like watch Young Guns 2. And like whenever Emilio Estevez was on the screen, I would just like hold up and take a picture of Emilio Estevez.
Ooh, him and Lou Diamond Phillips are really pulling it off
Yeah.
here.
I was like, hey, that guy is also La Bamba. That blew my mind years later when I realized that. But yeah.
Oh my god. That's fun. Yeah, weird little kid shit like that. I don't know why. I do remember at least once I asked my mom if she would like take my picture with me sitting next to the TV with Ren and Stimpy like paused on it.
Yeah, dude. The stuff, yeah. My kid takes my phone all the time and we'll just start taking pictures of like whatever the hell he's watching. Like Mickey Mouse Clubhouse or like this thing called like Oddbots. Like he just always will put it on the TV and then he just like takes my phone and just like goes up to it like an old man and takes pictures. It's so funny. I have like 50 of them on my phone.
I'm terrified how these children are going to turn out having this. Like they're gonna be hacking ATM machines at like 9.
Oh god, yeah, yeah.
As long as they cut in pops, that's the important thing here. So, all right, let's watch a little bit of this clip here. We're gonna see our first shot of Becky, and I know the kid's name is Rudy, but I just gotta call him Fat Kid because I wanted to get him on so much. Because as somebody who is like if you're listening, I mean, yeah. Jake is a bigger guy, and you know that I'm not really thin myself. And as a particularly husky like kid and teenager, I always wondered how these kids dealt with that in movies, where it's like, oh yeah, I got to be in a movie, and they're gonna make food jokes about me every 5 seconds.
Yeah,
that's like every laugh.
Yeah. Right, but at the same time, I didn't look at him as like a fool. I looked at him as a genius, because the scene you're about to play, I believe, is a scene where I'm like, oh my god, he's dead, and then they take the helmet off, and I'm like, that is amazing. That's so smart. And everyone else is like, oh my god, that's gross. I'm like, are you kidding? You guys are gonna have to. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
Let's take a watch real quick here. So yeah, the kid has just taken a hit. He's flat on his back. We see Becky. So he's got a little bit of blood on his forehead. Nope.
Peanut butter and jelly sandwich? Are you nuts?
Had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich in there, which honestly, extra cushioning, could be concussion related.
Yeah. CTE, PB, and J.
Oh god! So we meet some of the other kids here. One of them is Hanan, this adorable young boy who just can't catch, but he's already showing some not great psychological things, like when he can't catch here, and he has a conversation with his hands, which he will have several times throughout the film.
Jesse, sorry, is that breathing on the YouTube video?
Yes, the guy in the YouTube video. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and hope he's asthmatic. And I don't know.
Dear God, like, I thought that. So we were watching this, and I thought it was me. And I'm like, Jesus, Jake. I'm like, get it together. Come on. I'm like holding my breath, and I'm like, no, I still hear it. And I'm like, is it Jesse? And I look at you, and your mouth's like fully closed. And I'm like, that's a mouth breather. And then I realized, like, yeah, like you said, he's filming the TV. You were just dude. This is the funniest setup, because it's just you just hear the guy breathing. Sorry, I don't mean to ruin it for anybody listening to the podcast.
No, that's fine, guys. If you're listening, well, you know what happened? I actually fucked up last week. I was trying to actually screen mirror on like some Amazon Prime shit. So what happened was my guests could not see the video at all, and the video they could not see it. So this week will be a video heavy episode. I tested it. You'll be able to see all of this. So definitely worth it to go on YouTube or Facebook and watch the video episode.
Now, is the audio shared? What do you call it when because you share the screen, the audio shared, right? Because on my side the volume is really low. except for this guy breathing.
It is low. It'll be better on the other ones, but
Cool.
just to prevent me having to go back and edit all of it, like I try to keep the volume a little bit low here. I will turn this up because this is a dialogue thing, but we do hear the boys bullying Becky a little bit with some some real girl insult type kind of stuff.
It's a great line.
Oh yeah.
You look like a boy. You play like a boy. You keep standing up. She's hot to trot. Still got a squat.
Hot to trot. Still
got
a squat. Damn. That kid is clever. Although, I don't know, there's a weird, I remember just being a little boy, just being like confused. Like, I understand they don't have what I have, but like, how does any of that work, you know?
Yeah. It's a problem when you have adult writers saying, "Hey, child, say this."
But there's definitely some adult writers in here, but you get some great gags. Like there is one.
Oh my god, so many.
The kid. Oh yeah, when they don't make the team, and the kid's like, "That's the end of my professional career. I guess I'll have to be a senator."
Yeah. Hot Hand Tannen says that.
Mm-hmm. So Coach Kevin also insults the big kid as a wimp for hiding puffy instead of crunchy cheese curls.
Yeah.
Jake, puffy or crunchy, man?
Oh, well, I mean, because of the movie, I'm going crunchy.
I'm going crunchy. I didn't need to be shamed into that, but I don't, at least I don't think so. Maybe my dad shamed me for it a long, long time ago.
So here's the thing. If it's Cheetos, it's definitely crunchy. If it's Jack's, Jack's, those, it's like regional. Those are puffy and those are delicious.
I feel like I like the puffy more if they're the balls and not like the curls.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. No, I'm a curls guy myself. Big old curls guy.
Good man. Oh yeah. So the kid Hanen, Hot Hands Hanen, he blows snot onto the bully, which is like really kind of egregious.
Yeah.
So we're going to meet some of the kids here. We meet Tad the wimp, who can barely run. Ed O'Neill times him and quips, "What is this, a telethon?" referencing the cerebral palsy telethon with
amazing, by the way.
Yeah.
It was really punched up like so well.
There's really good writing. The gags in this movie are pretty good. I feel like they get a little bit like, okay, that was a little cheesy, particularly when you get to the game itself. Like, let's have the weird kid, like, retract his neck like a turtle so we can decapitate him on the field. It's the
funniest thing. That's the funniest scene in the movie.
I think that kid is the best part of the movie.
Yeah, absolutely. His character happens to be named Jake.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not biased. But yeah, he goes, "I'm gonna rip your head off," and he slowly starts sinking it down in the pants. And like you're laughing because you're like, oh, he doesn't want to get his head ripped off.
Yeah.
You're thinking that's it, and then the play happens, and the dude takes his helmet off, like he just like, you know what I mean, in the play.
All right, you know what, that's not till like the end of the movie, but
yeah.
I do have that clip queued up, so let's just watch that clip because it's definitely worth it.
Oh my god.
That's okay. We play
I rewound it like 2 times, like in addition to the first original time watching it, just to see this again.
I think the benefit is the kid has a great yelling voice, and they have him yell several times in this. Yeah, all right, let's just give this a watch.
Get ready, dog breath, because when I get finished with you, you're gonna be farting out of your mouth and talking out of your butt.
Not that one. Although that's
also a very good,
incredible shot. Here it is. Okay, I'm gonna rip your head off.
I'm gonna rip your head off.
And you see him like he's just quiet about it.
Just starts wriggling.
So funny. Oh my god.
Great visual. Great
so
visual.
So funny. Dude, as a referee though, you would probably blow the whistle the moment some kids.
Yeah.
You see some kid take off the other kid's helmet and there's no head. Like, roughing? I don't know.
Okay. So, So of course the nerd and Hanen and Icebox and the big kid don't get picked for the team, and the chubby kid Rudy is so ashamed he lowers his head and begins leaking Reese's Pieces, which is
Yeah.
great shot. Oh, you know what? I didn't even put together Amblin Entertainment. That's why he has the Reese's Pieces, because it's ET.
Yeah. Now, yeah, it all makes sense now.
I get it. Major plot hole filled. Um, So Rick Moranis confronts Kevin, who defends himself, saying he's only picking winners. Becky's a lot better than the boys, but she's a girl. Says if Danny raised her like a girl, maybe she'd act like a girl. To let those kids on the team would be cruel and get up their hopes. You know what? How do you think you're going to approach this as a father? Are you going to be the type that supports them as much in whatever they want, or are you also going to be the one that like pulls back a little, like? I always did performance stuff. I only found out in the last few years, my mom always said like, I wanted to pull you out of those things because I was mortified watching you, just because like all I could think is like, if he fucks up, he's never going to recover from this and everyone's going to bully him.
Oh my God. That sounds like you have loving parents.
We have we have a lot of anxiety in our family. Like there's
Okay.
there's love and mental illness, like any stable household.
Yeah. Yeah. No, my parents were pretty chill. They were just like, go for it. Whatever.
Mm.
Yeah. You want to jump on that trampoline? Yeah, go ahead. Do a backflip. That's cool. Like that's totally fine. Um, I will say though, like in that scene, like so we watch the beginning, they're kids, right? And then you see this scene play out. It was like strike 1, 2, and 3 right there for me for Ed O'Neill's character. Like there was no way that what's the like redemption for his character for me, because he was a total asshole as a kid to his brother, like a monster. Like he was just such a like the kid character was such a dick to him, right?
He didn't strike me as that monstrous, honestly. He struck me as like the older brother, like, what are you gonna do, little guy?
Yeah, but I mean, like then he like when his brother doesn't get picked, and he's just like ball Kevin or ball
Oh, yeah.
Danny, and he's just
Which seriously, if he's
chomping on his gum.
if he's that bad, then like throw him on the other team, and then like, they'll have
Yeah,
they'll have a numbers advantage, and it evens out because he's not great.
yeah, and like so there was like that, just like I just don't understand how. I mean, I was the only boy in my family, so like I don't know. I didn't have an older brother to like just disregard me like that, so that bugged me. And then like yeah, even as an adult, the way he treats his kid in that scene, like his brother's kid in that scene, like if you know you're not going to let her, if you're not going to pick her for the team beforehand, why let her try out?
That is a good point, especially since the movie goes out of its way to make the point that him and Icebox do not have a bad relationship. Like they seem to get along. I mean, when she has an issue with like girly stuff, she immediately goes to his wife, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, and then immediately when you see the wife in the with the video camera and stuff in the beginning,
Mhm.
immediately all I wanted Rick Moranis' character to do was just hook up with his wife.
There you go.
That's how you get it back, Rick.
Yep. Well, you won the game, little brother. Like I won more than that. Yeah. You're gonna have to move in with that whore Peggy you've been saying, because I'm the dad now.
Yeah. And I feel like Rick Moranis' character, because like at first rewatching it, I was like, oh, is that the girl like from the beginning?
Yeah, I had that too, because
So
they don't
I'm
show
like,
much. It's just a blonde girl that's there for a second.
like he talks to all these women and like Rick Moranis, and he's like a ladies' man in this movie too, kind of like like it's a low key ladies' man, but he's just like, yeah, whatever. And then you see like the women looking at him smiling, and like you're like, I think she's into him.
Yeah, it's like, well, he's such a good father, and they all feel bad for him because his wife changed teams. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
moved to San Francisco. Oh, here's the thing: I cannot figure out where this movie is set. Oh wait,
Urbania.
no. I actually I got confused with Ladybugs. My bad.
Okay.
Ladybugs, I could not figure out where it was, but yeah. Anyway, I fucked that up. We see Kevin's family eating dinner. Again, great little writing here. The little girl is saying grace. When she says grace, she thanks God for the following things: Friends, flowers, Nickelodeon, Pez, Mr. Lorenzo, the hairy high school janitor, leading Ed O'Neill to chime in. He's an unfortunate man, Priscilla, and football. So Kevin's wife gives him some shit for not picking his own niece. His daughters agree that Becky rules. She makes boys cry. So kind of like white male tears, getting a head start on that. I would, you know what? I would like to. I really would like to ask some some of the female comics in like our age group and see if any of them, because we have a lot of like very hard feminist associates amongst us, and I wonder if any of them like got anything from Becky. Like, is she thought of in that way for some people?
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know. I mean, she again, she was for me.
She was a feminist icon to all the boys that watched
Yeah,
this movie.
she really was.
Mhm.
And I mean, like even back then, it started that conversation for me at a while I was a child. Like, why can't women play sports like with like the boys? Or I mean, girls and boys, not
Right.
women and boys.
But and you have to keep in mind that we're children ourselves at the time, where like the girls are kind of bigger than us, you know?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, they were.
Kind of
So
intimidating.
I'm telling you. I mean, most of the girls that I went to grade school with could beat up about 90% of the boys.
The only real bully I ever had was a girl that was in third grade when I was in second grade, and I was terrified of her.
She was coming after you?
Oh yeah, no, she was very. Ugh.
What would she say to you? What scarred you?
She I know she called me a fat, ugly little fuck a few times.
In third grade, she called you that?
I lived in a lower working class town.
As did I.
Yeah, it was pretty rough. But oh wait,
Man.
I'm remembering the other bully. You know how there's like your bully, and then there's the
Uh-huh.
kid who's a sociopath. So it's just whoever gets in his path, but he's not your bully.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, those are the two. Those were the two different ones. That other one I remember was literally a kid like, "Hey, we're the last two on the playground. We should fight." Like, wait, what? And then by the time you know what's happening, you've gotten your eyes poked.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. I had an issue and I've told the story before, but like I think it was in like sixth grade. There was this kid who was like scared to walk home, and I was like, "Yeah, it's fine, dude. I'll like walk with you to like a certain point."
Mm-hmm.
Because I was like, "Yeah, it's fine. I took karate. I know what I'm doing." And we go outside.
Not to brag, I got my yellow belt. Got a stripe.
Yeah, in Tang Sudo, I had my Cho Dan Bo at that point, which was the belt before black, and then we stopped going. No big deal. I could kick probably someone's head at that time.
Nice.
Not now. But so I'm walking them out, and like we get like maybe like 30 yards outside of like the one exit, the side exit of the school,
Mm-hmm.
and here comes this kid and his like three friends walking towards him, and he says something to the kid, and I look over at him, his head's down, he's shaking, and I'm not trying to fight, I'm just trying, and I literally say like hey man, why don't why don't we just relax or something, like something like that, like, or why don't you talk to me? And like before I can even finish the sentence, I got sucker punched in the eye and just started sobbing. Like I was like, "Oh my god!" Like, because this kid had like he'd been held back like 2 years. So we were in fifth grade. He should have been in seventh. And
Oh god, so
so
you got like sucker punched with a hairy knuckle, a
dude,
hairy
yeah, I
pubescent
got
knuckle.
haymakered, and I'm just like, "Oh my god!" And I look up, and all three of them are laughing, and I noticed the fourth person laughing. It's the kid I walked with. And it wasn't it wasn't a trap. He did it out of survival. He did it as in like, oh, there's the like, it's not me. And like he was like safe now.
Oh god.
You know? And then I'm just like holding my face, like, oh my god. And like, yeah, that was great. Really,
wow, that
fun
is
memory.
brutal. What
I definitely don't think about that the moment I wake up every morning and
do you,
every night before I go to bed.
do you remember? Did you have any like? Do you know what happened to that kid? Like, what became
No,
of his life?
no, I don't. I mean, I know he like was going like again. I was from a lower and like I grew up in a refinery town,
Okay.
so like it was just like a lot of drugs, a lot of dropping out.
Hmm.
Pretty sure he dropped out and like I lost. I don't know what the hell happened to him.
So
Wouldn't it be great if you had him on the call right now?
well, here he is, Danny Malone. So the kid that sucker punched me, the one that was kind of a sociopath, he
Yeah.
died the first day of senior year. No, the day before the first day of senior year. Him and another guy were like huffing something, like some like desk
Wow.
cleaner by the creek, and he had a fucking seizure and died.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and now my best friend from middle school has a dog that he named after him. I don't know. It's weird. It's
Was he
all.
friends with him?
I'm honestly not entirely sure what the connection is. Even if you're friends with him, it's very weird to just name your dog like kid that died flopping on the banks of the creek.
Like
You know.
full name? Excuse me, full name, or was it like
I'll just say it. Yeah, Rob Devine. The dog's name is Rob Devine.
wow, wow.
And
That's
to bring things full circle, a friend of his ended up impregnating my cousin years later. So my cousin's son, who was basically my nephew, his middle name is Rob after Rob Devine.
wow.
Yeah.
That's was he the like you said he passed away your senior year?
Yeah.
Was he like your first death of like a student in your upbringing that you
Uh,
can remember?
Actually, no, no.
Yeah.
Ooh, this would be perfect for like if we were talking about my girl. So
Yeah.
our first one, there was a kid on our baseball team who had leukemia, who died at like 11 or 12. But
Okay.
like, dude, that high school year, we had three big deaths, and one of them, or early in the school year too. Uh, Probably the first death that really, really fucked me up. My ex girlfriend that I was so really close with had a brain aneurysm and died on my 18th birthday.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's awful.
Yeah, to give an idea of just how fucking strange the years are. This year coming up, it'll be oh, she's been gone longer than she was ever here. Like
Wow, dude, you just put
se-
you've put a lot of stuff. Yeah, that's nuts.
yeah.
That's so the first death we ever experienced was in 5th grade. It was like right as the school year was starting, so I didn't know this kid. Um, but what happened was he was driving a go-kart on the street
Mm.
and ran into a trailer hitch. And like
I feel like I've heard versions of this story, but it's never been from somebody who like actually knew them.
yeah, no, but I mean I could I saved the obituary. I have the obituary and I
Mm.
later became friends with his cousins. So it was like a real it was a real thing. It wasn't like an urban legend. Um, but that was like, oh my God, that's crazy. And then in 6th grade, the girl who sat next to me in homeroom um, left to have children.
Oh,
Yeah. In 6th grade. She was held
God, that's
back
so
a year.
fucking young.
Yeah. And then she had her second kid by 8th grade. Um, and yeah, it was crazy.
See, dude, crazy with that. There's a girl that I'm still friends with. She was actually one of my firsts that I was ever with. But like right after me, she got pregnant at 15, and then she got pregnant again at 17, and then so two kids, two different dads, and then she was just like living her life. Her daughter is as old now as when I met her, and
Wow.
she just had another baby. So to have like kids
Yeah.
while you're in high school, and
Dude,
then when that kid is in high school, you're having another kid. Like that is
built-in babysitter, man.
yeah.
That's the
Oh,
way to do it.
long-term planning there.
Yeah. I will say the girl who sat next to me, like she's doing great now. I mean, like as far as I know. I think we're Facebook friends, but like, you know, well, like her family's all together, and it's nice seeing pictures of them. That's cool.
That's
I'm
good.
like really like low energy and chill right now, and I apologize. I'm like, yeah, it's fine. Life is good.
No, that's fine. We're being chill. We're having a good time.
Yeah,
So real quick, back to the dinner scene.
yeah,
So when his wife is giving him shit, saying, Kevin, girls can do anything too. Kevin decides to compromise and put together cheerleaders, and Becky can be on that team. So we see, again, a lot of notes, but this is all stuff that comes out at the end. We see the losers hanging out with a nerdy science kid.
yeah.
The kids who got on the team show up to bully them. There's actually a great 90s knot involved. Like, we just wanted to come and say, great job out there. Not.
The best kind of not.
See, okay.
We need to do that nowadays. Like,
all right, well, hold on. Let's think about this. If we're talking great jokes, layman jokes by decade, the 90s had not. I think the 2000s have That's What She Said.
yeah.
What would the 2010s have been? I'm trying to think of what the 80s or the 2010s would have been. I feel like the 80s, we just had so many like catchphrases that stood in there. Like, where's the beef? I can't really think of a
Where's the
one.
beef would probably be one.
Mm-hmm. just like a catch-all comeback. I think we had so many in the 2000s. We had, is that your like final answer?
In the last year or two, like 2019, 2018, maybe, I feel like Bye Felicia became one.
Bye Felicia came out there. We had a generational one, Okay Boomer, simple.
Yeah.
I actually I work for a fucking insurance technology company, and I actually just wrote an article on how older generations don't really want to keep up with the technology, and how can your business capitalize on that. And the title of it is Okay Boomer, Generational Changes in Technology.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I got to squeeze it in there.
Nice.
So if I could think of that, we'll come back to that. So Becky shows up in a go-kart, foreshadowing, and chases the kids away on their bikes. She pushes two into a creek and runs another off the road. And all I could think is, if this happened to Mother's Day, she would no doubt be expelled and charged with assault for all of this.
Yeah, well, I mean, she did headlock the kid too at the tryout, so she's been showing violent tendencies this whole time.
Yeah, we've noticed Becky is having some anger issues. Has her mother and her mother's partner seen her recently at all?
Yeah. And also, just from a realism standpoint, like, I don't know much about go-karts, but I know that driving that go-kart through a little creek would destroy the engine, and it would stop running in the middle of that thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, didn't don't they have spark plugs in that? Like at least one?
Yeah.
So yeah, once that's wet, that's done.
Yeah, I got one more of those two coming up. I'm excited to share with you. Just I call BS on.
Okay. So Becky took her dad's consoling "I'd pick you if I had a football team" to heart, because she tells the bullies they're going to start their own team and whoop their butts. Kevin owns a car dealership, because of course he does. So, all right. So we get to the main stakes at the diner. The mayor tells Kevin there's a problem, that the kids want to do a second football team, and they can only have one. This is, again, a detail I missed about the movie. I thought there's only one game of football in this movie, because what's going to happen is these kids are going to compete, and whichever team wins is going to represent the town. So it's literally like winner take all for this one.
Yeah.
So we see some of the other kids that get picked. Fuck, I clicked out of my notes.
It's fine. I can riff on this for a second. Also, when they set that up, so she walks, he says there's two teams. Ed O'Neill gets up and he walks over to Rick Moranis, who happens to be sitting at the end of the bar, and Icebox is there, and she goes, "Oh, Dad, by the way, we started a team. Thank you. We want you to coach. Bye." And she runs out of the diner. And Rick Moranis is like, "I'm just hearing about this," as he's getting yelled at. And dude, that was the part I loved, because he was like, "You know what? Fuck it. Like, yeah, I am starting a football team. You suck as a brother. Let's do this. We're going to find." And then, like, I don't know, when should we do this? And the old guys are like, 2 weeks from now. And in my head, it's like they trained for months. You know what I mean? This was like Rocky IV style training. And no, it was a 2-week period before the
Yeah.
game. That's it. 2 weeks.
I love that the old men are just kind of meddling in the background. Old men are making bets, which honestly
Yeah.
is like cute, but all I can think is like if they're going in for this low stakes gambling, like these are guys who have lost their houses and this is the only action they can get in on
Yeah,
anymore.
they're very one-dimensional old men. I mean, like they helped, like, you know, push the, you know, the stakes up a little bit, but yeah, like so just two little logistical things. I know it's a movie. I'll leave it alone. So the team forms right then, and in 2 weeks is when they're going to play. Okay, Becky doesn't even have a full team yet,
Yeah.
and somehow miraculously, before the game, they get their jerseys.
Oh yeah.
There's no way they're getting a team's jerseys within 2 weeks when they didn't even have a team like 2 weeks out.
Yeah.
Because that's Saturday, Sunday. That's like a rush order. The rush order fee would have been way more than what the jerseys were even worth, and they wouldn't have done it. And also,
you don't know, maybe Kevin has some other enemies around town. Maybe
yeah, right, yeah.
maybe the silk screening business also, didn't get picked.
And I played football in middle school. We were 7-0, no big deal. I played the 1 year, and then I was like, I'm done for for senior year. I wanted to go out on a high note. That's what it was. But I just like the other thing that drove me crazy rewatching this was when all those kids got selected, they got brand new helmets in the boxes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what Pee Wee team is providing this gear?
You're wearing the same helmet your dad probably wore, you towny fuck. Like,
yes,
that's how this works.
In Urbania, for sure.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we get a quick thing. We see the other kids they're gonna get. They see an Asian kid that's great at kickball. He's in. Nerdy boy is playing chess as Rick Moranis convinces him to become assistant coach. A rando kid in a cowboy hat doesn't even want to play. He's on the team. We get a kid who will have his own arc, who I refer to as neglected kid, because his dad, no matter where this kid is, his dad is always like just walking out of the room on the way to somewhere else.
And the kid always like nailed the looking depressed look.
Oh yeah, like that you could tell like this kid probably tried out for Devon Sawa's part or whoever, but he just had such a good pathetic face that they wrote the character around him.
Hey Jesse, you want to know a fun fact?
What's a fun fact?
That actor committed suicide a couple years ago.
That is fun. Wow.
That is no, it's terrible. But I mean, when I saw it, I was like, "This is a little much." That he's just sad. And then, like, I was like I said, when we were doing this, I was like, "I'm gonna like check up on all these kids." And somebody wrote like, "Oh, I miss you, so and so, man. The 5 months we spent filming Little Giants, like, like you were such a great person, and like always like we always had fun." And I'm like, "Who is this person?" I searched it. I'm like, "No, not the sad kid."
Aww.
Come on. Because then, like, like that may have changed. You're talking about the fat kid in the movie then being bullied and being fat, and you referred to him as the neglected kid. Like that could have changed his trajectory. I hope not.
Yeah. And that's also one of the more like heart-wrenching scenes in the movie, because at the end, his dad shows up at the game and the kid scores a touchdown. He's just running to his father, happens to have a football with him.
He doesn't care about football at all. He's just getting the hug, which is like, and brings watching it. Ooh, as a dad, oh man.
Oh God, dude. After having my own issues with my dad and losing my dad young, like I can't watch Big Fish. I can't watch movies like that. When I have my own kids, it's gonna be a nightmare.
I have not watched. I used to love Big Fish, and I probably haven't seen it in about like 7 or 8 years. And if I watched it now, man, I mean, I cried originally watching it. I'd probably just be ridiculous now.
Oh God! So this has been on my mind. You're familiar with the actor comedian Michael Ian Black?
Yes.
Love Michael Ian Black. I was way too young watching The State, and I fell in love with them early. Um,
Nice.
I was reading a book he wrote, which is a lot about his marriage and fatherhood. And he has a whole chapter on how his wife got pregnant and he was feeling really ambivalent about the whole thing. And he was in the car, like on the way from somewhere while his wife was pregnant, it was just him. And Creed's With Arms Wide Open came on the radio and just reduced him to like a blubbering mess for like the rest of the day.
That's dude. There are things that'll get you. Like Cat Stevens, Father and Son.
Oh,
Oh
well,
my god.
I mean, Cats in the Cradle already kills me, and
Yeah.
I'm that's what's crazy. These songs kill me. I'm still the kid in these songs.
Yeah.
When that
Dude,
flops,
And yeah, when that shifts, when that flip switches, and then all of a sudden you're the dad, like you still feel like a kid.
yeah.
So then all of a sudden you're like, oh my god, I'm the dad now. This is so weird. And yeah.
Um. Oh, so the other kid arrives, Jake. I
Yes.
really wish I couldn't find a clip of this. So either he's really sickly or his mom is Munchausening him because they're she flat out says like he was 1.11 ounces at birth. He's extremely fragile. I was on my back for 9
For
months.
9 months.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But despite being so paranoid about his health, she wants him to play football. Like
Yeah.
the doctor says he needs to get some air. Like, oh, let's just put him out here to get murdered.
And what did Jake say in that scene? He goes, my shrink told her I should get out more. That was his only line in the scene. And it was just so funny.
We also get that this is the other reason I wanted the video. We get the horrible 90s CGI snot bubble.
Oh,
He gets one of the kids pop.
I didn't realize that was CGI.
It's really bad if you take a close look.
Man. Yeah. You dude, like that is one of the best intros in the movie to a character.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like it's so fun because it's like the reflection of like the mom of like who she is versus who he is. Like the kid's pretty carefree
Mm-hmm.
for like the mom being so neurotic.
Oh, yeah, the kid's pretty chill.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the same worries.
And then moments before that is like your realistic where like he dumps out all used equipment and then the kid puts a cup on his face.
Classic.
That was the first time I ever saw that done. And I was like, that's so funny.
Genius. So we got a little clip here because before the team, we got a bunch of ne'er-do-wells, slobs versus snobs, but we need some kid with a little more oomph behind him. And this is where we meet Devin Sawa, aka Junior. So yeah, he's throwing toilet paper rolls. Becky looks longingly through the grocery.
What a find. What a hunk. Wait a minute. What am I saying? I'm the S-Box. The S-Box doesn't like boys. Except for that one.
Aww. So she's having all kinds of feelings. And, apparently not an uncommon thing with some girls. I remember I had an ex who said that she thought she was probably gay because she was not attracted to boys. And then she saw like NFL offensive linemen, and it turns out she just really liked husky boys, which is why she ended up dating me.
Damn, okay.
And like that lit the fuse on her sexuality.
I was a lineman. No big deal.
There you go.
Left tackle.
If you'd shown up and taken her off my hands way sooner, it would have done me a few favors. All right. So yes. So they have Junior. He's just moved. I really don't understand what's happening here. If he just moved to town, because we find out like his mom is the little girl from the beginning. But
yes. And that's such a great scene. I love that scene so much because you get to see how much Rick Moranis and his daughter are alike.
Because they're both hiding from their crush.
Yeah, they both. I mean, what a cool thing to see, especially as a kid. Like they have, you get to see like a dad falling in love and the kid falling in love, and it's weird because normally it's like a parent's dead and like, or they're raised by an aunt, uncle, and they're already married or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But like seeing that scene play out where the girl looks through the door, sees her crush, turns and goes, oh my god, I can't go in there, and then seeing Rick Moranis do it, it is genius. It was like just so funny. Like this, the same house. You guys are looking in the same window, and like reacting the same way. It's just brilliant.
Yeah,
Anyway,
you genetically really want to fuck that other family.
yes, yeah.
Oh god. So we go to the practice, and so yeah, we just see that real quick where Rick and she comes out and has a completely normal, like the guy is like pushed up against the wall, and she's like, Danny O'Shea. Clearly, it seems like she's lived in this town forever. I don't know why they're just crossing paths now, but
Yeah. Oh, I'm just in this house. Yeah.
Oh, and also, you would think, does this kid go to Catholic school? Does that why he doesn't know the other kids? I don't know. It ruins the whole movie for me. It doesn't. It's just nitpicking.
Yeah, just one line about the divorce. You know what I mean? Like, or something could have changed all of that. But like, yeah, who's he trying to hide from? Holding his breath. His daughter's standing behind a tree and then like poking out, and his truck's in the driveway.
Mm-hmm.
His very like ridiculously loud truck.
Mm-hmm. All right. So the next day at the Junior agrees to join the team. The next day, Jake shows up completely wrapped in foam, saying his mom said the other pads weren't enough. Yet she still wants him to play football. Part of me is like, I think Jake's mother resents his existence. She's trying to get him low key murdered on the field so she can go out and like be single. Like she's trying to be Casey Anthony with extra steps.
Yes, she's little Casey Anthony.
During this was actually really hot as a kid. Devon Sawa passes to, I'm going to go back and forth on Junior and Devon Sawa, passes the ice box, and she gets all gooey that he compliments her. He tackles her and gives her a masculine pat on the butt, which she gets like a big smile about. She then tackles him and takes her sweet time climbing off.
Yeah. Nothing like seeing two children on top of each other, huh?
I was roughly their age when I had these feelings. I'm remembering who I used to be.
Yes. But I know what you mean. Like, yeah, as a kid, you're like, what is happening? Like, this is, I feel funny. Like, yeah.
What is that? Can girls lay on boys like that? That looks different.
Yeah, dude. And then that's the same scene where Ed O'Neill's in the woods, right? Or like across the street.
Oh yeah. We're getting to that. Okay. So just real quick detail: Hayden can only catch paper towels. That's why they're toilet paper rolls. That's it. That's why there's so many notes, because they do plant and pay off a lot of stuff in this movie.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
We see some of the parents. I love that the chubby kid's dad is Francis from Pee-wee's Big Adventure. All time great. So they find out that Junior is as good a player on their team, so they conspire to steal him. So Kevin O'Shea and the assistant coach are hanging out in the woods looking through binoculars. Nerdy Boy catches them spying, and they call the cops on them as creeping on the kids in the bushes. And they say like there's some creeps in the bushes in their underpants.
Yeah. Rick Moranis is pretending to be an old woman.
That's right. Yeah.
And then he holds the phone up to the little cowboy kid. He gets the cowboy kid in on it, and he's like, and he's like, please, come quick. And then in what has to be the most memorable police scene I've ever seen in my life, we see those cops draw guns in the most choreographed way possible. Which watching back now is hilarious to me, because they have like little reptile arms. And they're like, like they do it to like perfectly.
They're scampering to him.
They're in sync. You know what I mean? And yeah. So this is I want to talk about this, and then I want to jump back to the parents for a second of the other kids. But so this scene is the best because they get arrested, right? Mm-hmm. One little like as a cinematographer note, when they're looking in like the close up of them looking through the binoculars, the grocery store is behind them, but when you see the cops coming, the grocery store is behind them, and it's clearly a different angle of the same shot. Like you know what I mean? Like yeah. So you gotta look that out. It's like, oh wow, they literally just turn the camera like, but it doesn't look like it lines up like eye line wise. Anyway,
Mhm.
sorry, that's nitpicky.
Weird.
Yeah. But
So-
also, here's the crazy part about this scene that drove me nuts.
Mhm.
He gets arrested. He goes home. He slams the paper down.
Local hero arrested.
Local hero arrested. The wife goes, "Oh, your lunch, oh dangerous one." And he's like, haha, funny. Yesterday I go out the window. Today I get arrested. Like, what's next? Ugh. And I'm like, wait a minute. You were just arrested today? And yet you, sir, are on the front of the paper? Of today's paper?
Mhm.
The day you were arrested? When does this paper come out? I paused it. It's not an evening edition. It says it comes out daily. It even says daily on the paper. So that means somebody had a premonition that morning
Mhm.
and submitted the story at like 4 a.m. and they're like, trust me, you got to run this.
Somebody's been waiting to take down Kevin O'Shea.
Yeah. I mean, that's, you know what? That's what it could be. This whole movie is more like the town conspiring against Kevin O'Shea.
Mhm.
Yeah, they got the jerseys in time.
Well, see, the fun thing, he makes, again, this is just a very interesting that they chose to address this. He even makes the point that Danny was smart enough to call the state cops and not the local cops because they wouldn't have arrested him because Kevin O'Shea is untouchable in this town, which is why he just got arrested for peeping on children. And nobody for a second thinks like, maybe he shouldn't be coaching the kids.
Yeah, dude. He's I mean, instead of O'Shea, he could have said Sandusky.
That's right. They were just horsing around out there, you know, just locker room stuff.
Yeah.
God. All right. The kids have a car wash to raise money. Devin Sawa and Becky flirt, but Kevin's daughter shows up in her cheerleader outfit, and Becky gets jealous when Devin Sawa gives her attention.
Yep.
At home, we see Becky experimenting with lipstick and doing some cheers in the mirror. So some stuff's gonna happen there. The old men call both brothers and say there's a giant new kid in town, so they both race there.
Yeah. Oh, no, real quick. Can I pause you here?
Absolutely.
And I'm sorry, it's your podcast. You can tell me to go to hell here.
No, go for it.
I was going to say when they did the Little Giants pep rally in his living room.
Oh yeah, the parents.
Yeah. So real quick, because we missed that and the going out the window scene. The parents were so perfectly cast.
Yeah,
in
the
scene,
the parents are all dorks too.
Like you said, Pee Wee's dad, Francis is the fat kid's dad. Hot Hand Hanen parents, like they're so excited for him. They have the video camera. The neglected kid, none of his parents show up, not even his mom.
None. He had to take a cab there.
yeah. Do you have cab money? And then like the other thing is like the cowboy is like shooting his guns, and then they just cut to a guy with like a bow tie, one of those like, and he's like,
the bolo tie?
Yeah, it's like, where did he come from? And nobody's like, hey man, look, you're in Urbania now. Like, what are you doing? And yeah, just like all the characters, whatever the neighborhood friendly gas man, and like those guys, I don't get it. And like think about it, and it's just like, oh man, all the
flatulent,
so enjoyable.
Oh yeah, no, what were you gonna say?
Oh no, yeah, just that's it.
Yeah, no, the parents are used very sparingly, but very well. When they do. We see Tad's dad. Tad's dad's a bit of a softie as well. All right, so we meet Spike lugging a refrigerator on his back. The dad flat out says, like, we moved to town because I have built this kid for Pee Wee football, and we want Kevin O'Shea to be his coach. So Danny fakes being Kevin.
Yeah, which is weird.
Yeah.
Really weird.
Yeah, you think you would have gotten a look at him at some point if you're going to move
That's jail time. That's kidnapping because you're taking his kid under false pretenses.
It is. Yes, exactly. Well, he just like, I said I was Coach O'Shea. I never said which O'Shea I was.
Imagine you have a child and you're like, hey, you're the babysitter? And they're like, yeah, I'm the babysitter. And you're like, all right, great, thank you. Take them to the zoo. And then they leave, and an hour later, somebody shows up, like, sorry, I'm late. I was in traffic. I'm the babysitter. That's terrifying.
Well, he didn't say which babysitter, so I guess he kind of got me. All's fair.
Yeah, okay.
All's fair in kidnapping and wordplay. So yeah, weird stuff here. He mentions his son was pushing a football with his head at 4 months, did his first pull-up at 18 months. I've still never done a pull-up.
Yeah.
Every night before bed, he massages his hamstrings with evaporated milk.
Red flag.
That's just a caring father right there.
A very caring father.
So
maybe a little too caring.
Yeah, it could be said. Could be said. Here, we can actually show some of this. So Spike gets tricked into joining the Little Giants, and he speaks in the third person, which you don't know. Is he dumb? Is he already brain damaged?
That's what I'm gonna say. Like, I think maybe a little less time massaging his thighs with milk, and maybe a little bit more time with just Muzzy or Hooked on Phonics or any of those programs at that time.
Dad, I can't read. You can read a defense. That's all you need to read.
Zone or man.
So yeah, let's get a little clip of Spike giving Becky the business.
Is Spike mistaken? Aren't you a girl?
Gee, good eye.
Spike don't play with girls.
She's pretty good, Spike.
Spike don't care. Didn't you hear? Spike don't play with... Look, you berserko Barbie doll. When you mess with Spike, you mess with death.
You can talk the talk, but you walk the walk?
Try me.
I will.
Let's go.
Right now.
Spike's in hell.
Spike's in Pee-wee.
Hell. Spike's pretty cool. I'm actually surprised that actor didn't really do much after that.
Have you looked him up?
I didn't actually.
Oh yeah, it's crazy because you think of Spike. What do you think of when you think of Spike?
I don't know, honestly.
Like, he's a very intimidating, a powerhouse. Look him up now. He hasn't grown since Spike.
So that's the thing. He's not particularly tall here.
No.
All right, hold on. If I put Spike, Little Giants,
You should see him now.
I need a producer on this fucking podcast. I hate having to do all this. Okay, let's see. We're gonna find.
There he is.
Wait, Spike.
There you go.
Sam Horrigan. Oh my God, he looks. Wait, that's not him. All right, well, hold on. Now that we have the name.
That is him though, but not in that. Yeah, there you go. This is what I did.
Oh wow,
Looks nothing like him, right?
Yeah,
he looks like somebody on The Bachelor who gets rejected, or Bachelorette, I guess.
He looked pretty good with long hair.
He was. So that's the thing. You see what it says? Our favorite jock from Brink.
Brink.
Remember the movie
Brink?
The rollerblading movie, the Disney movie.
Oh, well, all right. I see some of the pads there. No, I never had. Oh my God, fucking
that one.
He was on Beauty and the Geek. So he was on. Wait, Beauty and the Geek. I think that was a dating show, wasn't it?
Was it? American television series.
Oh, okay. It was no American reality television series.
The Ultimate Social Experiment.
Follows a group of beauties who are and geeks. I do remember this where they have to work on it with each other, but what was he doing there? All right. Oh, well, hold on. It
Getting
says YouTube.
paid.
Yes, he was.
In the Geek, and you're online with a CW source.
So is he the host here?
Mike leaked to us that you actually use a bunch of different tanning lotions or tanning sprays for your body. Now, is it per body part, or how does one vary their tanning body spray lotion?
I actually have 2 tanning lotions and 1 tanning spray.
Oh my God.
They go all
Which
over
one
the
goes
place.
where?
Well, I mean, I use all 3 all over,
You think Spike don't use tanning lotion?
Dude, I just love the fact that he went from exactly the type of kid I would hate as a kid, only to become precisely the type of man I would hate.
But almost a full 180 of the type of person.
Yeah.
Overly masculine to having a beauty regimen.
Yeah, and here he is chatting with a plain girl. Oh my.
Oh no, is there a scene like that?
I think that's what.
I would have liked to have had happen. I think it's a good question.
Get Rebecca off his trip.
Yeah, exactly. Nicely trimmed.
Last episode, did Nicole double cross you to get Rebecca off, or what happened? Kind of left
you know, I don't know. That's a good question.
Okay, I don't know. I could go down this side alley for the
We're
rest
just gonna
of the
watch
show.
an episode. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
Isn't that fantastic or what?
That is amazing.
Yeah, I looked up like most of them, and that was that and the poor kid who passed away are the ones that resonated with me.
God, so much tragedy. We were actually trying to get on. We were considering doing Dennis the Menace as well this month, and we were trying to get on Devin Ratray, who was not only in Dennis the Menace, but he was Buzz in Home Alone. And messaged him as well. Never got back to me. I checked his Instagram yesterday. His fucking mother just died.
Oh man,
Bad timing across the board.
Oh, dude, that's awful.
Yeah. So Spike's dad shows up and takes the kid back. The team disintegrates. They all fight. Devin Sawa quits. The sissy kid kicks the fat kid. Feelings of inadequacy mount. They all leave. Kevin finds Becky sad at the diner. He decides to exploit her being mad at her dad about Spike and her crush on Devin by convincing her to quit football and join the cheerleaders with the line, "Uncle Kevin, do you think I'm pretty? No, I think you're beautiful." That manipulative piece of shit.
That's okay. So when I was a kid and I watched the scene, I'm like, oh, they're together. He's like, he cares about her.
Mm-hmm.
Watching it yesterday to prepare for the podcast, I'm like, he's not thinking about her. He just wants to win the game.
Right. He don't care about her.
I mean, if he cared about her, he would have picked her.
Exactly. So, all right, we can get back to Becky and Devin, but first, some NFL players and John Madden pull over at the side of the road with a faulty bus, and we get to see. I feel like this was in all the. Nope.
No, not a faulty bus. They pull over to ask a kid riding his bike.
That's right.
For directions. And I'm like, who pulls over to ask a tiny kid for directions?
John Madden, I suppose.
Yeah. And then he gets out and it's like a fun little thing he does with the map.
So
and he makes it look like the play.
Oh, yeah. Another thing that was in.
And I don't know where we are, kid. It's like, wow.
Oh, so the guys on the bus are John Madden, Emmett Smith, Bruce Smith, Tim Brown, and Steve Entman. Hilariously, none of them ever played for the Giants.
Yeah, that is funny.
The nerdy kid shows John Madden a play he's working on called The Annexation of Puerto Rico, which is mentioned several times. And we get this great scene. I'm not sure who this is. I think this is Emmett Smith.
No, that's not Emmett Smith.
All right. Well, let's just give this a minute then.
Intimidation. Now,
you just popped a football if you're only listening.
You don't want to be intimidated. So let me see your game faces. No, come on, guys. You can do better than that. Let me see your game faces.
See, I thought the football player's game face is not that great.
Yeah, who flexes?
He doesn't do much with his face. He just kind of flexes.
Yeah. Scares them all away.
Mm-hmm. Here, you know what, Jake? Since this is a video podcast, give us your game face.
Oh my God. I had no idea this was a video podcast. No, I'm just kidding. I'm very comfortable, as you can tell, and I apologize. Okay. No, yeah, the game face you're getting from me is like, please, I don't have any money.
Okay. All right. So this is the other scene I wanted to get to of Becky and Devin Sawa ponder the meaning of making out. So, whoa, didn't mean to do any of that. Yeah, sitting on the creek, watching a couple make out.
You know, as you do.
I think we had real dramatic, like Kevin Costner did in Robin Hood, like this. No way. In the movies, they do that chicken pecking mouth half open thing, like this. Hey, baby. No.
Devin Sawa, very charismatic, even as a teenager.
Yeah, like too charismatic.
Use their tongues. Ew, that's disgusting. I know, spit swappers. Yeah, kind of like them. Tonsil hawk.
That is such a weird thing. So we're in a situation now in my extended family.
Yeah.
Where we have a younger boy who has had some troubles, and it's kind of unspoken, but we're all like, we've only got like 3 years until puberty kicks in, because puberty might make this child into a monster. But just to look at kids at a certain age and just think like a fucking bomb is gonna drop on them any second. Like thinking of them here, like they kiss with their tongues, ew, gross, and like literally 3 weeks from now, like fucking, he'll be fucking the couch. Just how quickly everything in life changes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're like, well, Mom, where's the never mind. Where's the baby oil?
Jesse, why is this towel so crunchy?
And it's also like it's good acting work when he goes, they use their tongues, and she goes, oh, that's gross, but clearly you could see that like she doesn't look like yeah.
And
anyway, consent is, you have to get a yes or a no, just to clarify.
Well, I mean, she's the one trying a little hard here, as we're going to say. Although,
Well, become a teacher.
oh, hold on. This is a great line they give her.
Hey, we're gonna have to learn how to do it sooner or later. I mean, you know, if you want to have kids and get a job and stuff. Kids without kissing.
I love the line, like, you know, well, if you don't make out, you can't get a job.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, that's what every boss told me. So, I mean.
And then he said, you can have kids without kissing, which is so funny and true.
It's very true. Yeah. But here we see the problem.
Absolutely, positively, no way out of it, no matter what. Can't get out of it. Had to learn how to kiss. Well, then I think I want to learn with, let me guess, Debbie. I don't know. But if not her, definitely another cheerleader type. Right? Maybe. I don't know. This is really weird. Hey, Junior. I bet if I was more like those cheerleaders, you'd want to learn with me. But you're not. You're different. You're cool. You're the icebox. I mean, come on. You're probably the only girl I've met that can beat up my dad.
Funny line.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'll see you later.
So, you want to talk a weird double whammy here, and this would not have come up if she had appeared on the podcast. Just remembering her from this movie as just like a tomboyish young girl. It was like a little in the mid 2000s, she had like pretty much do you remember the movie Poison Ivy?
No, I don't remember that one.
So it was a series of films, early 90s, was originally Alicia Silverstone, then Alyssa Milano in the sequel, that were like young girls seducing movies. And it was like all of their first nude scenes. So she is in this movie. Becky the Icebox is in this movie, Poison Ivy 4. She has a very hot nude scene, which is very confusing because, you know, not only child star, but like tomboy child star. But who also has a nude scene in that is one of the girls from fucking Degrassi.
Okay.
So
I never saw Degrassi.
I really want to do some episodes on it because it is like... It's just a good kid show, but the simple fact that it's made by the Canadian government means because it's government, every episode needs to have a lesson. So like if you drink a beer, you're going to kill somebody driving home. If you have sex, you are going to get pregnant. So like everything, the melodrama is just pumped.
Okay.
Yeah. Jake, tell us about your first kiss.
Oh man, my first kiss. Insane. So there was a girl, I remember I told you I took karate. I was in karate. I must have been in like 4th or 5th grade at the time. And so when you took karate class, the way it worked back then, there was no computer check-in. So like every class you had to go get your card and then like hand it in for attendance, right? So this girl named April, she took the card, and as I handed it to her, she looked at it, memorized my phone number.
Ooh.
And then like didn't talk to me at all during class. And then the next morning, it was like Saturday morning, we have a message on our answering machine, and it's April inviting me to like come hang out and play with her.
Ooh, okay.
And I'm like, all right, well, this is kind of cool. And we did I was like, yeah, sweet, all right, whatever. And then like, just went over and hung out. You know, I wasn't trying to think of anything crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And I could tell like she kind of liked me, you know. And I don't really know what that's like even today. Still, I'm married with a kid and another one on the way. Still don't know what it's like to have someone like me. No, it's in a very happy relationship. But I remember it was like that summer after we first started hanging out, like she had a pool and we would get in the pool all the time. And she's like, oh, let's just like go under and see like how long we can hold our breaths. Blah, blah, blah. We would do that. And then at one point I go under and she just like comes up to me underwater and just like kisses me underwater. My first kiss was underwater.
That is so beautifully cinematic and
it was like the thing is like we're so young, but there was like a little bit of tongue in there, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, what is happening? Like I'm like she's leading, I'm following.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that kind of set my whole life up after that. I was just like,
it's
wow.
It's like Las Vegas rules. Like nothing counts underwater, baby. That's just
yeah, right.
Oh god. So I don't remember my first like peck kiss. I remember my first makeout kiss. It was with a girl who was not unlike Becky the Icebox, named Ashley Welsh. This would be the beginning of several girls who would realize, oh, I think I'm just into girls after dating me. Although this one was my first kiss and I was 13. A friend of mine really did me a solid at his birthday party, and they were playing 7 Minutes in Heaven, and he rigged the bowl for me to go in with
oh my god,
this girl that I was sort of kind of seeing in the middle school sense. Hold on, there's a bunch of jerk-offs who I hope none of whom are wearing helmets. I hope they're hopping on 95. Oh my god, there's like 50 of them.
Oh wow. Do you owe somebody money?
I don't. Oh fuck it. That's Louis the Greek down there. This is insane. This has not stopped yet.
It's real.
Yeah. All right, fuck it. So they rigged it so me and like the girl I was dating in like the 7th grade sense got to go into the closet together and we start making out. However, what is this awesome moment? They also pull the door open for the whole party to see, and because she had kind of like short hair, everybody instantly says, "Ew, it looks like two dudes making out."
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Wow. How'd that affect you?
That one not as badly, but I can give a worse one that happened. So
yeah, go for it, and I'll share one with you afterwards.
So there were a bunch of kids over. Like I think this is probably a little bit after that, maybe the next year, so like 8th grade. They're all over my house. In the basement, my parents have an old jukebox. And in the jukebox, they have all these old singles, one of which being I'll Make Love to You by Boyz II Men.
Nice.
So I figured like, you know what? This will be funny. Put on this hacky. I cannot believe these fucking animals still going by. You're like, oh yeah, this will be funny. I'll Make Love to You by Boyz II Men. I put it on and then I enter the rest of the basement. Everybody has paired up and is making out, and there is nobody for me.
Oh my god!
I was the odd man out in my own house.
Are you serious?
There were 4 boys and 3 girls. Just like, get
triple kiss,
light the fire. It's like, hey guys, isn't this funny? And it's like, oh, middle school makeout, and I just had to like. I could either just like, this is kind of funny. No, I just trudged upstairs and I felt like that fucking hole in your heart feeling.
You're like, guys, I'm going to go get some more puffy cheese curls.
That was my mistake. If this was a crunchy house, they would have been all over me. All right, what's your other one?
So kind of, okay, I'm going to tell you 2 and they're quick.
Okay.
So then my first girlfriend, it was my birthday. It was my birthday. And everyone went to the woods to make out, to play spin the bottle. and I got to kiss my girlfriend for the first time. It was in 5th grade. This girl lived 5 houses down from the girl that I just told you about from karate. And they were in different grades. Like the girl who was my girlfriend was in my grade. The girl I kissed underwater, she was like a grade or 2 above me.
Okay.
And or just 1 grade above me. And so we kiss in the woods. It's in 5th grade. And again, my refinery town, everyone's making out having babies in 6th grade. So like I get this one kiss and I'm like, all right, we're serious now. Like we're a serious couple. And like we never kiss again. And we dated till like the end of almost the end of 6th grade. And I remember so
well, hey man, you know middle school, man. Once they get that commitment, those kisses dry up right away, man.
Oh,
they know that's how they lure you in.
Oh, you guys used to kiss, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, I used to kiss before we, were together.
Yeah, we didn't even need a bottle. And I remember, so like a year and a half goes by, and I'm like, dude, we haven't kissed in like forever. And I remember we're just sitting in my room watching my tube television, and I can't even remember what the hell was on. It was something so weird and boring. Like it was something in black and white. Because I wanted something boring. I wanted us to be like, oh, this is boring. Let's make out or something.
Right.
And I was like, kind of like trying to nudge into it. Like, yeah, like, I don't know. I want to do something. She's like, well, what do you want to do? I'm like, I don't know. She's like, well, what? And I'm like, And then I was like, all right. And I just go in and I give her a kiss. And then it's just met with like silence. After like just the one kiss. I'm like, all right. So do you want to go home or what? And yeah, then we like knew that ran its course. Cut to 7th grade. There's this girl Sarah, and we start dating. This was like when Tommy Hilfiger was huge, right? So I had this like cool Tommy Hilfiger shirt. One Tommy Hilfiger shirt. It was a real one that I got for Christmas, and I was like, all right, cool. Like I got that, the gold chain. Spraying on Tommy Hilfiger. I felt like I made it. I'm like, this is the top of the mountain. Girl's like, oh, we start dating. She's like, I want to wear your shirt. So she just borrowed my shirt and would just like wear it. I'm like, okay, cool. Cut to her birthday. We're playing like 7 minutes in heaven, spin the bottle, and then like go in the closet for 7 minutes in heaven. The bottle lands on her and it's us. Everyone's like, oh, look, the couple. Blah, blah, blah. We go into the closet, they close the door, and she's like, no, don't. We're not doing that. I'm like, oh, okay. So we just like stand there in the closet for 7 minutes, like not even like looking at each other. I'm like, aren't we dating? Like, what's going on right now? Yeah. And like a day or two later, she had her friend Jamie call me to break up with me. And I was like, dude, she still has my Tommy Hilfiger shirt.
Yeah, I need that back.
And I sent my sister over there to get it, and she got it. So, pretty awesome.
Okay, one more, and then we have to get away from the heartbreak stuff. So, me at middle school again, and this is with the girl who ended up liking girls. So, me and my 2 best friends were dating these 3 girls in this group. Like, they're all friends. And while we're at lunch, the one girl, they're sitting at a different table. The one girl comes over with a note, basically like, Kyle, I'm breaking up with you. And he's all bummed out, like, oh, that sucks. And then comes over for my buddy Ryan, like, Amanda's breaking up with you. I'm like, oh, man, sucks to be you guys. Wow. And then the fucking third, like, like, oh, you 2 losers. Oh, well, that sucks. Why is Ashley coming over here? And we got mass done. Like, it was.
That's amazing.
It was downsizing. We got laid off, all of us.
That's fantastic.
On the plus side, I will say this: the 2 girls who left me to become full-time lesbians never saw another man again, as far as I know.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, the one who I had a girlfriend when I was fucking 30, who pretty much told me after 6 months, like, hey, remember I told you I was bisexual? I think I was half right. And I saw on Facebook after she started dating another girl and literally like could have been my sister, like looked so much like me. So I was close. I was just missing some things.
That's insane.
Okay. So it's past midnight. Let's try knocking this out.
Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry.
No. That's okay. We're having fun.
Yeah, we are.
All right, we see the kids getting ready the night before. The nerdy boy does a shirtless muscle pose war face. Hanan still can't catch. The Asian kid puts black under his eyes, but then keeps going until it's somewhere between Juggalo and blackface. In fairness, that would definitely throw the other team off their game. Neglectful dad kid gets neglected by his dad. Fat kid parents tuck him in, though he's wearing cleats in bed. And the sissy kid does pull-ups while... That's how you get ready for a game. Just push-ups. Oh yeah, no hands. Okay. The game itself. The game takes place at Kevin O'Shea Park. The town is fucking obsessed with this guy. I almost kind of wonder, like, is there a terrible history in this town? Like, was there an infamous crime there, or like a fucking Klan chapter? Because they're really like tripling down on a football guy who didn't even go pro.
Before that, it was Charles Manson Arena.
Charles Manson Memorial Auditorium. Tex Watson Memorial
Cafeteria.
There you go.
That's why there's a cowboy in town.
That's right. Becky the Icebox stops by in her cheerleader outfit, and nothing makes sense anymore. All the kids are ready. Great line. They give out the uniforms, and the sissy kid refers to them as death shrouds.
Yes.
It's great. Weird thing.
Sorry. And then they go, oh, what? Like our names are on them. And the kid Jake goes, that's so the morgue can identify our bodies.
So good. During the koi toss, the O'Sheas are squabbling, and the mic picks up everything. They raise the stakes. Now they're putting their businesses up against each other, the gas station and the car dealership.
Yeah. They do that. And also, it's like the entire town just heard Kevin O'Shea talk to his brother that way.
Yeah. And they still support this guy. It's terrible. So the kicker misses the ball, hits a kid in the balls.
Yes.
This we need a clip of, because this is just fascinating to me. Spike makes a very unique threat. Not this one. All right, here it is.
Dog breath, because when I get finished with you, you're gonna be farting out of your mouth and talking out of your butt.
Is that physically possible?
Yeah. So yeah, the threat, like, you're gonna be farting through your mouth and talking out of your butt. He hits the kid. Like, just seems like a weird fun line. They almost score a touchdown.
Yeah.
They pay off the joke. They come to the kid laying there.
Are you all right? I think so. Huh.
And literally talks out of his asshole.
So funny.
Genius.
Because all the time in these movies, when you get to like the big game, it's all emotion and drama, and they have like joke after joke after joke.
Yep. Like, we go right into it here. Hanan, illegally, I might add.
I don't like this. I don't like that they have, the one kid on the team, who's a receiver who's not good with his hands.
Nope.
Then putting, cheating.
Yeah, cheating, like some New England Patriots garbage having it right here. He has all this goo on his hands. I think it's called grip goo, but everything gets messed up here where they're in the huddle. No problem.
Ready?
They clap to break. Oh, his hands are glued together. The folly of Hanan got exactly what he deserved. They do a whole thing here. His hands are now glued to his chest.
Yeah.
And the ball hits him in the head.
Hey, hot hands. You're the best player on our team.
Just gags.
Yeah. I never understood like the extra pumps at the end there.
Oh, yeah.
Like, is he a frog? Like, what's going on? Like,
is that his heartbeat? Maybe.
Yeah. But
okay.
It is a good lesson though. They're like, don't cheat because this is what's going to happen.
Exactly. So it is halftime. I'm trying to figure out what this is here. Oh, okay. So yeah, it's halftime. They're doing horribly. They get a little pep talk in the locker room in between. We get huge as they get their first possession. We get this great ebullient scene. Yeah, they're feeling a little more full of themselves.
Hey guys, look! 2nd and 9. They gained a yard!
There's such a funny. They gained a yard.
Look at Jake's fucking dance. Whoa, 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 whoa.
He's got moves, man.
Yeah, Jake has some moves right there. Enough to. I should try to get that kid on. That kid wouldn't have stood me up. Okay, so yeah, they're stoked. We see JR returns the ball. This team does not have special teams. I don't get it. They do an intimidation thing where they put Alka-Seltzer in their mouths and they foam like, rabid dogs. We see, okay, Tad gets a touchdown. His dad, also convinced he was a wuss, is ecstatic. His jersey says Rad Tad, which I'm all about. We see they show a few shots of Becky at this point looking like she'd rather be on the field. So yeah, we've seen everybody fail. Now we see them doing a little bit better. Let's do the sweet scene with neglected kid. Although this also is just great overall for what goes down. So yeah, the chubby kid is going to fart on them. That's part of the play.
But you know what? It got the defense to scramble.
It worked. I'm not going to say it didn't work. Oh, wait a sec. This doesn't even fucking have the whole thing. I could have sworn it was...
That is so funny.
Okay, well, they don't have the scene I thought they did, but yeah, we mentioned it. Neglected kid runs to neglectful dad at the end.
Yeah.
And if only...
I mean, the dad's just trying to provide for his family, right?
Exactly. Yeah. He,
says a guy with a lot of guilt for doing stand-up comedy at night. He's just trying to provide,
Okay, but what if that's the thing the whole time is the dad, he's putting on a suit and tie. Like I have to do my businessman set at the Chuckle Hut.
Yeah. I'm at the Comedy Cabaret this weekend.
Oh, I could see that character at the cabaret, actually. Okay. Oh, God. Okay, so yeah, everybody changes up. Hayden gets his big catch. They kick the ball, and it actually goes places.
And his big catch is like the football, like...
Yeah, he fantasizes it. He just visualizes it turning into toilet paper. Spike's dad tell him he has to take Junior out of the game no matter what. Dirty late hit, personal foul. Kevin, to his credit, tells the dad to knock it the fuck off. So while he is hurt, Becky throws down her pom-poms, puts on the football, but she's the football uniform, but still has the skirt hanging out.
Yeah.
Looking great. Okay, so a minute left. Cowboys have possession. Rick Moranis' girl comes down and gives him a hint. Kevin is almost certainly going to run the same big play he used to win the high school championship. So he lets the kids know. They figure it out. They block. Yep. Payoff.
The mom wants him.
She does. Wait. No. That wasn't the mom. That was Junior's mom.
Wait, what? Really?
I think it was Junior's mom. Yeah, I don't think it was Kevin's wife.
Huh.
They don't look different enough from each other. That's a casting fuck up. They're both blonde ladies. So the kids shift the line and they stop him just short of the touchdown. So now the game is tied. There's like 40 seconds left, and the Giants have possession of the ball at the 1 yard line. So here we have the final play of the game.
Coach, there's still 4 seconds left. We can beat these guys. Yeah!
So we get what's been hinted at this entire time, the annexation of Puerto Rico.
You're mine, pom-pom.
Fucking Spike.
Yo, baby. One more play, baby. All right. Watch the wing, man.
Everybody's going to stop and look at each other. So they drop the ball. They're faking handoff to handoff to handoff. Chubby kid's just holding it.
She doesn't have the ball. Fumble Ruski.
Helmet to helmet contact. Not good.
No mercy. No ball.
Oh, I remember being that kid.
Dude, still am.
Yep. All right, so he laterals it back. I think that Junior that has it.
Yeah.
And of course, Jake has got the ball.
He looks, yeah, he's so tiny. He's like a beagle.
Runs right into the post. And they win. Everyone's elated. Junior comes in and hugs him. Spike, actually, to his credit, all the Cowboys are pissed off. Spike's the only one like, nah, clap for him. Give him some credit. Yeah. Great scene.
Yeah. Spike knows sportsmanship.
Oh, so fun fact. Apparently, this will be the thing that gets us pulled down. The Carolina Panthers tried this exact play like 10 years ago in the playoffs.
No.
All right, so you see, watch, see, they just drop it down there. They're going that way, and they double around.
Wow.
So yeah, the annexation of Puerto Rico. It's no Philly, but it's up there.
It's yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Rick Moranis, the town is happy. Rick Moranis asks the girl to dinner, and they kiss. They do the post-game handshakes, and Kevin gives Rick shit, saying, "Don't be pissed if I wasn't hard on you when we were kids. You'd have no resilience, and you wouldn't have beaten me today." Rick doesn't rub it in. He just offers to merge the two teams. Kevin's the better coach, so they would be better with them. He just wanted the kids to be able to play. Rick says maybe he and Kevin can be co-head coaches. He threatens to enforce the "I get your business" thing, but Rick lets him slide on one condition: the water tower has to be changed to say "Home of the O'Shea Brothers." And during the celebrations, Becky and Junior hold hands and jump up and down. And that's the end. I could have fucking sworn that he and Becky actually had the kiss in this movie, but they didn't.
No, I don't remember that.
I remember them actually, in my memory, they ended up at the river again, watching the same couple who has not stopped making out, and they have their makeout session there.
That's a dream you've had, man. This is that's a weird dream to have. No, maybe it was edited out. I don't know. Maybe you saw the Snyder cut.
I was gonna say, doesn't everybody resolve, like, preteen love stories from movies in their head? I mean, that's what I do in my free time.
Yeah.
No.
Wow. I didn't realize he let the dealership thing go.
Yeah, he just kind of lets it slide, even though.
Just give me my name on the water tower. It's like, no, dude, that's a good business.
Yeah, it's like, also. I think he jokes with him like, So Ed O'Neill gives him a joke like, "Hey, I'll always have a spot for you at the pumps," and he does it like, "Oh well, I'll always let you there. You have to work on commission, of course, but like, no, you were going to take my shitty little business. That's all I have. I am 100% taking your awesome car dealership business,
dude." Yeah, I mean, like that's like, for like one thing, like his job as the tow truck business, he's on call 24/7.
Yeah.
So the fact that he's able to make all this stuff happen for his kid is amazing, and all these kids that were rejected. So yeah, getting a car dealership where you have stability and like overhead and like profit, no brainer. And then you can like, have people from the dealership working your tow business. It's like,
yeah, maybe
the dumb decision.
Maybe that's the dark side of all this, in that like, oh, that's great, he's helping these kids out. Also, might be why his business is failing. He's just like stopping to like start up a fucking rogue Pee-wee Pop Warner football team.
That's where the neglected kid's dad is the whole time. He just has a bad car. He's trying to get to these games and he can't go because Rick Moranis is like off, doing whatever.
I'd be there for you, son, but that O'Shea guy, he sold me a lemon. He can't fix the one sold me a lemon and the other one will not repair it. They're running a racket in this town.
Yeah, man. They got this whole town under their thumb.
But seriously, how do they talk the town and like, hey, guys, really nice of you to put my name on the water tower. Could you make it the brothers, that brother that has done nothing of consequence? Like, just, I lost a bet. You heard it. The microphone picked it up when we were yelling on the field.
The mayor is like, well, that's law here in Urbania.
Yep. So yeah, having rewatched it as an adult, any different takes than the first time you watched it?
I mean, I think the biggest thing is like, man, Ed O'Neill's character, like I said, as a kid, like I forgave him. As an adult, I don't forgive him, especially like it's one thing to treat your sibling terribly. It's another thing to treat your sibling's kid terribly, which I felt like he did. And like at times like was manipulative and, so for that, I was actually very surprised at the amount of jokes and like how much it held up from that standpoint. Obviously we're in a different time now, so the whole tomboy thing and like that whole going that route was kind of cringy, but it's whatever. There's a movie of that time.
But I mean, another bad thing about him is like we have the scene where he's trying to teach the kids how to tackle, and he has his niece's picture drawn onto a couch cushion.
Yes.
And his wife moves out of the way the last second, and he falls through the window and hits his balls. And like, isn't that funny? But like, if she didn't move, he would have trucked his wife out of that fucking window.
He would have murdered his wife. It would have been the first 48 where they're like, we found her body.
Yeah.
It looks like she suffered a blunt force trauma and then drowned.
Yes, she disappeared just like the other O'Shea brothers' wife did. Those O'Sheas sure are
Check
good.
the water tower.
Dude, let's leave it right there. That's perfect. Jake Mattera, Stand Up Guys podcast, a soft one coming out soon on Helium Records. Dude, thank you so much for doing this. This was great.
Thanks for having me, Jesse. It was so much fun talking this with you.
Awesome. I'm going to end this like I end every episode. I'm going to stop recording, but you and I can talk for a second. See you guys.
Cool.
Hope you enjoyed this one.